This is Slow Auto coming at you from downtown Loomis, across the street, maybe Rockland, from Jim Boy's Taco. So, there you go. Oh, there's the AAA office. Good to know. Good to know. I got AAA roadside assistance. I got the Premier, so they'll tow your car like I think 500 miles. Because I do a lot of long distance, middle of nowhere rides in my vehicles, and then also I think it includes the. Got to double check, but pretty sure it includes the motorcycle tow, which is good. I shouldn't need. Ducati comes with a 2-year free roadside assistance, but I think the AAA is better. You know, I love AAA. I've had AAA for like 30 years. I use it like once every like 5 years, but it's golden. It's worth every penny. I mean, I mean, I like to maintain my cars, but you never know. Sometimes you have a emergency. Okay, we're gonna get back on the freeway here. I guess I should have went through Loomis, but oh well. We'll get off at the next exit. Freeway gets a little boring. Inject into the freeway here. Woo! Boy, 80 miles an hour. Not even. I didn't even know I put the throttle on. 5th gear. 6th gear, 90 mph. We'll get off at Loomis here and take the back roads. A little funner trip. Woo-hoo! Boy, that cool breeze. It's 77, but it feels nice. These Ducati leathers, man, they got the special cowls. They got the special leather. Special leather. It breathes nice. And that's fairly easy to do, man. See, I'm already in 2nd gear. Look at that. I'm going 30 miles an hour from 90 to 30 and lickety split. That's why this thing's so easy to ride, because, I mean, it slows down much easier and faster than it speeds up. So you always feel, after about the first 1,000 miles, I mean, you get the feel for, you know, you just get the feel for the brakes and the rear brakes and the front brakes. And I use mainly the front brakes and the engine braking, a little bit of rear brake. But, boy, it's just easy. A lot of engine braking. This thing loves it. I was a little reticent to do it, but I mean, even if you're doing 90, you can just downshift to 5th gear. It's nice. With no fear of like locking up the rear tire. It does it nicely. So this is city of Loomis, kind of. This is where the supermarket is, and there's a Starbucks, and we're going to go to the old downtown here. This is a pretty upscale neighborhood. This is where they used to have the 49er training camp. All the football players would come up here preseason and practice, and it was a pretty big deal. Sort of a wealthy neighborhood on the outskirts of Sacramento, but you're still down here pretty low. It's about 100 feet sea level, so you get the heat. In this, fortunately, the smog piles up here at the bottom of the foothills. You're right at the bottom. We haven't really. Once we go up to Newcastle, that's where you start going uphill. Alright, so this. I'll take it east. Sheriff substation to the left. So slow riders got to take it slow. Don't want to get pulled over. There's the brand new Starbucks they're building. And I'll hand it to Starbucks. Wow, they make a lot of money. Every time you go, it's packed everywhere. People need their caffeine. It was a good I guess it's the one stimulant legal that's actually not too bad for you. I mean, I think it's actually, if you don't do too much, it's not so bad. There's a Corvette. Awesome. Corvettes are awesome. Especially the ones that last 20 years, man. You just can't go wrong. Like I think it's a CJ1, CJ2, or Z, whatever it is. But man, those are all really nice. There's a nice red Camaro. Remember my cousin had an IROC Camaro with the T-top, man, in the 80s. That thing was awesome. He let me drive it a few times. It was a stick shift V8. The IROC Camaro. International Race of Champions, I think it stands for. It was cool. It was black with the black T-top. Man, it was cool. I don't think they make the T-tops anymore. They're cool looking cars. Yeah, that was a sad story. Someone stole it, and then that was it. So I don't know. I think he went back to driving just a truck, which wasn't bad, but you know, I think they found it down in Mexico, just parted out. So someone stole it and drove it down to Mexico, and you know what they do? They take all they just basically find like the frame, the body or whatever. All the panels are off, and you know there's no engine or anything, or wheels are all gone. Oh, here comes the train. Cool. That's what's nice living around here, like up and down the 80. The 80 basically follows the train track. The original, I think that was the original train they built. There it goes. Should I race the train? Too late. Yeah, that was my first job. I wanted to be a train engineer. Drive the train. Look at that thing. That is cool. Maybe I should retire from being a physicist, and my second career could be train. Train, that is cool. That's an awesome job. So here's the high school coming up here. Loomis is a really nice high school. They have a good football team. It'll be up here on the right. I mean, Loomis, it's an upscale area, and so they have a lot of tax money, but they have a really nice school. Del Oro High, that's it, Del Oro. Golden High, Del Oro, like Eagles, or I don't know what the Skyhawks, or Golden Eagles, yeah, there it is. Yeah, cool. I guess they're out for the summer. I think they graduate this week or next week. This is funny. This horse up here, I used to think this was a real horse. Then one day I was, oh, it's a fake horse. I thought they got the horse out there all the time. This bag. I almost bought, me and my wife almost bought this place, Alice's Fruit Stand. It was a little too small to live in, but that's a nice property. You'd have to, I don't know. You'd have to develop it and sell fruit. It's kind of cool. That's kind of the thing around here. These used to all be orchards out here. That's from. That was a peach orchard. I mean, it was hundreds and hundreds of acres each farm. I mean, it was thousands of acres total. These are all this area. Fruit trees grow really good. Apple, pears, peach. This is pretty much was the I think that it was the United States capital of the fruit trees. Might have been the global. I don't know. They used to pack everything in Loomis, and it went out on the railroad tracks here. It's back east, and they would can the stuff and I think send it out to the shipyards on the West Coast to send over to Asia. I mean, they've long since cut down most of the fruit trees. A lot of places you'll see remnants of the old orchards. You'll see 30 or 50 trees here or there. You'll see some old orchards. Well, this is nice. So now we're going uphill. So this is where the Sierra foothills. This is kind of where it starts. See, we're going uphill. So we're probably at like about 200 feet, and then it'll go 300. So this is the beginning. This is the bottom of the Sierras. We're at the very bottom here. Let's just say Griffith Quarry. Here it is, the Valencia on the left is the bar. It's kind of funny. The Valencia clubs are one of these old 1950s bar. I mean, this is kind of like Route 66. This is Route 40. It goes from all the way from San Francisco to New York City, I think. This was the old highway that went coast to coast, east to west. And this Valencia club is one of these landmarks, right? And it was empty for a few years. And then some homeless dude just moved in and was buying like beer. And he was running it like for 6 months, and people thought it was a business. It was funny because it was in the middle of being sold, and he was living in there, and it was open, and people were in there. He was running it like a business. You know, he'd go buy ice and beer at the grocery store, and then the new Andrews came there one day to kind of figure out, what they want to fix. And they're like, well, dude, he's like, I mean, it was peaceful, but it was kind of funny. I don't think they prosecuted, but it was one of those just funny stories. They're like, okay, and they gave him like, they're like, you can live here, but you can't be selling booze, and you got 3 weeks to get out. So it was kind of cool, but it was funny. It was all copacetic. I don't know if you can see the orchards here, but yeah, here we go. This is the old Lincoln Highway. If you stayed on this, you go all the way to, after about 3,000 miles, we'd end up in New York City. New York City! And if you flip a U-turn about 500 miles back, you'd be in San Francisco. Get some of that rice-a-roni treat. Oh, here comes a dude. I don't know if he saw me. Gave him little flashlights. Oh, there's a winery on the left with the water pond here. Welcome to Newcastle. Okay, this is Newcastle. A lot of people. The guy I work with, Carl. I just met him. He rides one of those Can-Am three-wheel things. Really cool, like the big gold wing that looks just giant. It's like the size of a car. It's got the 3 wheels on it. It's pretty cool. He lives up here. Newcastle. Here on the left's a nice, there's old mansions. There's some of the old orchard trees on the left. There they are. And we have I think the Portuguese Center's coming up on the left. Not here, another half a mile. Oh, this is nice. I ain't got any tailgaters. So on the left here, Portuguese Hall, yeah. I think there must be a lot of Portuguese moved up here. They owned all the land and farms and stuff back in the day. Here we go back to Interstate 80. So this is cool. We get to go through the tunnel. There's one of the old Highway 40. I think they're called. Oh, yeah, rest stop places. There's the old tunnel. I think the railroad goes over top of us or something here. Get some of that echo. Yeah. Get some of that Ducati good vibrations going in there. You can feel the thunder. Let's see if we can get this thing. It's a street burner, head turner. Let's see if we can get some. There's a Lincoln. Those are nice. Nice white and black. Champs Bar. Ice cold beer, man. Comes the boat. We're going to take Highway 40 at this juncture. So if I go left, I'm on Lincoln Highway. Not sure if that was my turn or his turn. I was talking. Maybe I should do less talking and more riding. I don't stress it. I mean, I don't know. What are you going to do? Somebody cuts you off. Who cares? I figure let the speed burner. They're happy. I'm happy. I mean, I had a few of those on the way down. I was doing like 90 on the freeway, and the guy was tailgating me in a truck. I just didn't pull over. I just got into the middle lane and signaled him to go around. I don't care. He must have passed me. I had to be going 100 because I was doing 90 and he passed me. So I don't know how fast you want to go on the freeway. I was kind of in a mellow mood, so I let him go by. So here there's a lot of farm supply companies. Because this is now like a frontage road. It used to be the highway. So I'm already going 55 and a 45, so that's fast enough. Here's a tile place. Here's a rock quarry. Whoa. Watch out for the forklifts, man. The forklifts will get you. Didn't see that guy in the forklift. Did not see him. They're kind of low. He came out from around the rock pile. I was like, whoa, hello. I think there's some power. There's some these old power stations, I think, that were set up by Tesla. Literally, back in 1800s, he came out here and did the AC power. There's a lot of these old power plants out here. I think there's one coming up on the left. Okay, on the left here, here's the old Highway 40 marker. Highway 40, Lincoln Highway. I think I might have come through here one time on a video. This is a nice road. So I'm going 55, I don't know. There's an old mansion to the left. Because I think it was part of the power station. A lot of times you have these old power stations and there's a mansion, because I think, yeah, there's the power station right there on the left. That's it. That has all the AC generators from that the water coming down the Sierras. They make a lot of power. All that power was sent to San Francisco, and it still is. They have these big generators that have been in there since I don't know, whenever Tesla installed them. That was the early 1900s. I don't know, when they first put power in San Francisco. This is where it all came from. The electricity came from the Sierra foothills. So you always have a mansion like that, and you have a power plant. Because they always had some rich dude who was managing it, like. And then you had all the worker bees, like guys like me. Here's another one of these gas station it's a roadhouse, a mile house right there. Right there, they had food, they had water, they had the people lived in the back. They're all very similar. I think they're like 15-mile house, 16-mile house, 20-mile. They have names like that, like a 50-mile house, and that was always referenced. Okay, now we're hitting City of Auburn, and that was always referenced from some particular point, probably from Sacramento. It would start over. Every major city would start over again like this. And that's where people back in the day, they would camp out there, get gas, spend the night. It was the rest stop basically on the highway. And this pollen is killing me. You can't see it, but man, there's a ton of pollen up here. Whew. Okay, I was in my blind spot, didn't see that coming. And we're gonna get off here, take the long way home. There's the miner. There he is, mining, the giant miner. We'll go by here's the old town. So this is like where Mark Twain and all those dudes hung out, gunfighters and stuff. Gold Rush Plaza. Alright, that's pretty much it. We'll turn around here. The California Club. There's CV Carpavino's, the local wine bar. There's a little park on the right. People coming back from a cold one. Oh, we're gonna go hit the Indian statues next. So let me. I'm gonna pull over and reset the video if this guy doesn't run into me. There's the. I think that was the state capitol at one point for like a few years. Look at that building. That's the Auburn's. There was a jail in there. That's from the Placer County Museum. Yeah, that's from the 1800s. There's a jail. There's a pretty nice museum. If you're ever in Auburn, California, definitely go to the Placer County Museum. It's pretty cool. They have all the old settler wagons, and it's pretty cool. Some famous gunslingers were like held in the jail. There's a jail in the basement you can go look at, like a Wild West one. Pretty cool. So we'll go up here, we'll pull over, I'll reset the camera. So this is Slow Rider signing out. I'm going to pull over here and reset the cameras.